Hi folks, Lee Gettess here with the Market Sense. For the week of April 19th, 2016, we will look at some charts that come from the Trade Navigator software from Genesis. The first chart is a weekly bond market chart, and you can see bonds have done very little since this huge up week back here earlier in the year. Everything's kind of sideways to that. If you're an optimist, you say they've held up rather well. If you're a pessimist, you say, well, they haven't gone any higher. This week, the previous week was an inside week. And so this week we were looking at support in the 165.10 area, uh, possible resistance up around 167. But anytime you have an inside bar, the odds of support and resistance breaking the next week become higher. So not too surprised that they don't seem to be holding the 65.10 area. Next level down here is around 163.24 at the lower moving average, and even if they break that, they could go all the way down to the mid-Keltner here at 161. None of that would be terribly horrible. I think the interesting thing here is what they've done since the Fed last raised interest rates, and to get a clue as to what the Fed might do in the future, just kind of keep an eye on this market. If they do break down from here, especially take out this low and start lower, that'll be your clue that the Fed may be raising rates at the next meeting. The Fed would like to believe they're in trouble, I'm telling you. The bond market is. Stocks, of course, have nothing but up since the February 11th weekly low. And they are at new highs now, and I mean new highs, new highs. They've taken out all of this stuff, and they're up here. We kind of thought they might hold the 2073 area for support if they were going higher this week. They did not because of the failure of the oil group meeting in Doha over the weekend. It caused them to be much lower Sunday night, but they just kind of bottomed in the middle of nowhere and started up immediately Monday. They are up into the target we had, the resistance target we had. The blue line you're looking at there is in the 2095 area, and that's what they've reached. So they could stall there, although I do have another target up around 2108. But I'd like to point out both 2095 and 2108 are essentially new highs. And you're not going to make a living selling the market making new highs, especially not the U.S. stock market. Yeah, they turn down, but most of the time they don't. So it's just not a good time to look to sell. And I think the buying opportunity was kind of lost when they didn't hold support and got jerked around on the meeting. So unfortunately, I don't want to chase it at this point. And of course, they could be tired. This is it's funny. This is a rather quiet move. They haven't exploded at any point, and yet here they are 300 points off that low. Very, very impressive rally. So that's what we've got for you today. I hope you can find something profitable to get yourself